Credit to the Gamecocks for an impressive, comfortable win when all was said and done. I said the score would be 38-26, South Carolina. Furman scored 5 fewer points than I thought, and South Carolina scored 9 more. Ended up being 47-21 was the final from Williams-Brice Stadium. It wasn't without some trepidation for South Carolina, but again, Furman ended up being a team. Furman is a team that would be about number 60, number 65 if they played in the FBS, right? Clemson played a team that was 2-8 in the FCS last season. Clemson played a team that was a joke. South Carolina played a top 10 FCS team that, oh, by the way, could conceivably win the FCS national championship this year. And Furman did get off to a 14-7 lead in the second quarter. And then here's what happened. All right, here is what happened. Spencer Rattler blossoming into a potential superstar is what happened. And when we talk about what the Heisman should be, what MVP means, to me it means this. What would your team be without you? To me, Kevin Durant wasn't really overly ever valuable to the Warriors because I was saying to myself, they would win the championship without him, right? I've already seen them win the championship without him. How valuable is he? And all of that talk ultimately resulted in Kevin Durant leaving. Ask yourself honestly, okay? No offensive line, no defensive line. Ask yourself honestly, what would South Carolina be without Spencer Rattler? Just keep it a buck. Keep it 100. Ask yourselves that question honestly. Furman was able to put up 323 yards of offense against South Carolina. Furman was able to throw the ball for 243 yards against South Carolina. Again, if I said to you, South Carolina won a game 47-21, they outgained their opposition 571-323, it probably feels like they just played UAB, right? Well, that's about what Furman is. Furman is Georgia Southern. Furman is UAB. That's what Furman is if they were at the FBS level. That's a doggone good FCS team. All right? And so if I am a Gamecock fan and I am appreciative of what Spencer Rattler has done for us, and I am looking at where we are and where we're going and knowing that Georgia is on the docket this week, I think the Gamecocks, ladies and gentlemen, have a chance to be competitive against the Bulldogs. I really do. I am going to stick with the scores that I have had since the offseason. I saw nothing against North Carolina that made me change my Furman pick. 38-26, South Carolina, they won 47-21. I've seen nothing thus far to make me change my Georgia pick. My Georgia pick against South Carolina is Georgia 31, South Carolina 20. I think South Carolina is competitive in this game, and they're competitive in this game because of Spencer Rattler. Rattler, again, didn't we see this last year, you said? Well, yeah, what you got, 2 games is a blip. 5 games is a trend. Spencer Rattler is now trending. All right? He is now trending. He is now turning into that dude. 55 for 66 in 2 games, passing, behind no offensive line. That's 83% completions. These are not exactly all screen passes either. 698 yards. That's an average of 349 a game for 2 games. 3 touchdowns, no picks for Spencer Rattler. Again, the value to Spencer Rattler, of Spencer Rattler to South Carolina, is not just maybe that he helps you to a 7-5 season this year. It's helping the wheels not fall off and enabling Beamer to build a program and build some momentum. You can't have momentum if you don't have Rattler and the team finishes 3-9. Spencer Rattler prevents that from happening, right? It's incredible. It really, he's playing out of his freaking mind right now. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it for Gamecock fans. You heard me say in the open of the show today, folks, and I believe this. South Carolina is in a better position right now than Clemson. South Carolina, if they go 8-4, 7-5, they're going to say, okay, we weathered the storm. We still believe in Beamer. We're still looking at the up and up. We still can climb. Clemson, when they miss the playoff this year, is going to be like, God, what happened to us? Why has Dabo lost his fastball? South Carolina's in a better position than Clemson.
You know who doesn't believe in Shane Beamer? Crazy Ralph.
This friggin' Beamer might be able to fool you in the press conference, in these kids' living rooms, and certainly in friggin' moron Ray Tanner's office. But he can't fool all of us who watched that game last Saturday night.
I don't think we're going to be hearing from Crazy Ralph this week, but I venture to guess, Deeza, we will be hearing from him next week, right? Not this week because they won.
Yeah.
We'll hear from him next week when South Carolina loses. That seems to be how Crazy Ralph rolls. It does.
Look, you always need data points on a team. You just cannot know. South Carolina got beat by North Carolina. North Carolina, who didn't have a good defensive line last year, made South Carolina's O-line look like a bunch of toddlers out there. But Furman is a drop down in defensive line prowess. We're going to find out for real. Like, they will be facing the full gamut, the full range of D lines that they're going to play all season. Now we're getting the best of the best. South Carolina, you're lucky because you're getting them third. You've had 2 weeks to figure this thing out now. So we're going to find out for real who South Carolina and their offensive what their offensive line can do, and what Spencer Rattler can do. Will he regress to the mean when he's pressured by a D line as good as Georgia's, or will he rise up?